All right, hey, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this live lesson, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who are still ruling well. Peace and salutations to the elect out there, scattered wherever you may be. May Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. Shalom to you, Akim, on the highways and byways, week in and week out, pushing this word as Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai commanded us to do. May Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. All right. Shalom to you, Israelite foreigners who don't look like your regular Israelites, but your spirit goes back to you being from the tribe of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay, from that lineage. And your spirit bears witness to this gospel. May Yahweh Shai bless you and your household, and may you continue to endure. All right. Hey, it's your brother Debakia from the Sons of Yasharallah, GMS Colorado Springs camp, coming to you again live on the highways and byways with another lesson. All right. And we're going to title this one, ThanksK Live Camp. Okay. Yep. ThanksK Live Camp. Right. I pray that you're edified. Okay, because this is who you bug outs and 2/3 of our people still worship. This fucking devil right here. All right, Esau Edom, self-proclaimed cracker. All right, self-proclaimed white man. There's no such thing as white. All right, they're just different shades of red, just how so-called black people are different shades of brown. All right, here to testify. All right, the downfall and destruction of America, aka Babylon the Great. Right. And this is what I come out here for. This is what we come out here for. For you 12 tribes, right? You can pause this video. You can see that. And you can read that. All right, we're out here for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? To make you come back to Yahweh Shai Shai while you still have time. All right? Because that grace period is coming to an end quickly. Let's get it. Let's see where the Spirit takes it. Right? See. We'll start in the book of okay. Yeah, we'll start off in the book of Proverbs, right? Chapter 12. And written by our King Solomon, all right, who was from the tribe of Judah, and he was a so-called African American, so-called black man, right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, and verse 1. And here we go. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge. All right, if you love instruction, you love knowledge. All right, you should, being in this truth, you should constantly be seeking the fountain of living waters. All right, and who's that fountain of living waters? Yahweh Shai, okay? We need him, all right? He is our mediator to reach Yahweh, okay? He's the one, including the angels, who delivers our prayers to the Heavenly Father, okay? Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. All right, you're stupid if you hate reproof, like you fucking genocide camp, like that genocide camp, all right? Genesis. All right, they're bugged out. You can't take rebuke. Hassad's prideful. All right, demon Hakah. He's not no fucking deacon. All right, he's demonic. And you're coming with a new doctrine. Okay, and every time you get cut, you like to cry and pander to your fucking viewers. All right, when it's truth, you have to be built up as a man. You have to leave all that worldly shit in the world, man. When you come into this truth, you have to be reborn as a newborn creature, right? Verse 2, a good man obtaineth favor of the Lord Yahweh, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. All right, who's that man of wicked devices? Started with Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. All right, he's that one of wicked devices. Okay, bringing that digital ID crap. All right, speeding up that MOTB to bring the C-hip to you people, okay? Constantly plotting on how he can make this world more evil, all right? And you fucking people, you fall for it every time. And that's mostly because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai doesn't want you people, straight up. He wants you to be bugged out. You're going to take that C-hip in that day. All right, continuing on. Verse 2 again. A good man obtaineth favor of the Lord Yahweh. All right, we pray every day that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh shows us his favor and that he's constantly dealing with us and that he's constantly working with us. All right, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. Verse 3. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. All right, who's the righteous? Starting with the hopeful elect. They are the righteous. We are the righteous. Considering the fact we're part of the hopeful elect, okay? And anything that dwells on Yahweh Bashim Yahshai's right-hand side is righteousness. All evilness dwells on his left-hand side, which is for wickedness, okay? And unrighteousness. All right, the root of the righteous shall not be moved. So there's nothing that you people, you heathens, you Edomites, you Elamites, any of you people can do against the prophets of the Lord, because we're out here as a physical mouthpiece of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 4. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones. All right, you women out here, you're constantly bugged out. Okay, you fucking nigga women, all right? You constantly want to worship Esau Edom, all right? On X, aka Twitter, you refer to the so-called black man as bullet bags, which is why we're not going to cry when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai brings disaster and plagues to you fucking Israelite women. Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 5. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. All right, who are the counsels of the wicked? Starting with you Amalekite small hat bankers. You're the counsels of the wicked. You're the reason why this earth is in its condition. You're the reason why we have chemtrails all in our fucking skies. You're the reason why we have GMOs in our food. You're the reason why we have impossible meat. You're the reason why the fucking so-called black woman is against her own man. You're the reason why the Latino woman is against her own man. You're the reason why this world is out of order. Right? Let's get that verse again. The thoughts of the righteous are right. All right, and who are the righteous? The hopeful elect. Beginning with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Those are the righteous. Those who dwell in his truth constantly, day in and day out. Right? But the counsels of the wicked are deceit. And that's all that Esau Edom is known for. Deceitfulness. Go look that word up. All right, Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 6. The lips of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. All right, and who's the wicked? Once again, the wicked is Esau Edom in this case, which can also refer to you 2/3, but in this case, it's talking about Esau Edom. All right, you ICE agents. You got Issacharites afraid to come out of their house, all right, and you 2/3 bugged out niggas who are against your own people, right? You're wicked as well, okay? But the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. All right, the hopeful elect. We're out here fishing for the elect and also prophesying to the nations and telling the heathens that they're going into slavery, right? Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 7. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. Let's go get that precept, right? Proverbs, that's in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 37. All right, one sec. Psalms, chapter 37. Bear with me, I'm getting it. Oh, here we are. Ooh, let's start at the top of Psalms chapter 37. We'll begin at verse 1. Let's get it. This is written by our King David, right? And it says, do not fret because of evildoers. All right, verse 1. Nor be envious of the workers of iniquity. All right, we're not hurt or afraid or mad of you evildoers, all right, of you people celebrating ThanksKilling. And nowadays, Jake has some shit called Friendsgiving. All right, you're bugged the fuck out because ultimately you're celebrating the mass slaughtering of your people. And that's evil in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, and we're not tripping on that, but we will condemn that and we will rebuke that spirit. All right, ThanksKilling live camp. Do not fret because of evildoers, nor be envious of the workers of iniquity. And who are the workers of iniquity? Esau, Edom, all right, the self-proclaimed white man who's constantly thinking about the next evil plot, all right? Verse 2, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. All right, just how the seasons change. We're currently in fall, aka autumn. All right, the leaves come out and they start falling off of the trees. They change colors, etc. And then eventually, as winter pours in, right, the ground starts to change, the climate starts to change, and slowly but surely, this green grass and the trees that you see, they wither away. That's exactly how you Edomites in your kingdom is withering away. Just how the elements of the earth wither away. That's how you 2/3 and you Edomites and you heathens are withering away. At the end of the day, Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is going to save his elect, right? His 1/3. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 3. Trust in the Lord Yahweh and do good. Dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. All right, we constantly pray to Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai to constantly deliver us, give us more faith, give us more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and obviously to not take away this glorious truth that we have been blessed with. All right? Psalm chapter 37 and verse 4. Delight yourself also in the Lord Yahweh, and he shall give you the desires of your heart, which translates to mind, la'ab, okay? And whatever you're praying for, if you're in his truth and you're in that right spirit, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai will give to you in due time, okay? I remember I was praying for a woman this year, all right, earlier this year, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai sent me a plethora of women, but I had to cut them off slowly but surely because they're bugged the hell out with this philosophy of Babylon the Great. All right, they're bugged out with that Esau Edom juice. It is what it is. That's just an example of how praying for in the names of Yahweh Bashim Shai will ultimately come to fruition. Okay, especially if you're in his truth and you're dwelling as the hopeful elect, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, and not celebrating or acknowledging these wicked holidays. Right? Psalms chapter 37 and verse 4 again. Delight yourself also in the Lord Yahweh, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. And what are some of the desires of our heart? All right, to see the heathen in slavery, to see the heathen with chains around their neck, okay? To take their women as spoil and to make them concubines and have their way like with their women like they had their way with our women during slavery, all right? It's only right, Esau, Edom, but we're not going to be as off as you. We're not going to even be off. We're not going to grape them like you graped our women, but we will have our way with your women, as you can constantly see. All right, the fucking Edomite woman constantly wants a Jake Rod, and there's nothing you can do about it. We don't give a fuck about you setting up bot accounts on social media. All right, the truth still stands. Edomite women want Jake men. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 5. Commit your way to the Lord Yahweh. Trust always in him, and he shall bring it to pass. All right, that's all we need in these last days is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, get your popcorn ready because prophecy is popping like popcorn. All right, 2025 was filled with all type of turmoil, okay? King Devil Nero Trump took away your SNAP benefits, all right? Now they're talking about making people re-sign up for so-called food stamps. All right, now they're talking about taking away your Section 8, your vouchers. And we pray that Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai continues to bring straight turmoil and hell to you niggas who are disobedient against this truth and who constantly mock and scoff against the prophets. All right, Psalm chapter 37 and verse 5 again. Commit your way to the Lord Yahweh. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Verse 6, he shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Right? Continuing on. Psalm 37 and verse 7. And it reads, rest in the Lord Yahweh and wait patiently for him. All right, what did Yahweh Shai say? All prophecies must be fulfilled. Okay, we can't speed up prophecy. All that we have to do is constantly prophesy, teach, hit the highways and byways, do our sit downs, feed the elect, and also tell the heathen and the Edomites about their future. Okay, while we wait for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to do what they will. It is everything on earth is the Lord's will. It is not according to our will. All right, me standing out here right now, it's not my will. This is the Lord's will that I came out here and I decided to set up camp, set up my tripod, and prophesy. Okay, and you have to have the spirit in you. All right, the Rakah Kodash, because if that spirit isn't on you or working with you, all right, you're gonna be bugged out. Celebrate these American holidays, right? Verse 7 again. Rest in the Lord Yahweh and wait patiently for him. And that's exactly what we are doing. All right, beginning with our elders and apostles at Great Millstone. We're resting, all right, and we're waiting patiently for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to bring these heathen nations into captivity, right? And for him to set up Yahweh Shai's rulership here on earth so that we can dwell in righteousness. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass. All right, that's in the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26. Let's go get it real quick. Precept upon precept. Let's see if I got the New Testament in here. I might not, because this Bible's kind of old. Salakia. All right. Right there. Let's start from the middle again. Psalms 37 and verse 7 in the middle. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way. So don't flinch, don't trip that Esau Edom is having his way, that he's in his rulership, that he's dwelling in his kingdom. Okay, because we know what lies and waits for you Edomites. All right, hell, nuclear warfare, nuclear missiles. All right, captivity. All right, the curses going from the Israelites flipping onto you, and etc. All right, we have faith that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai will make this happen. Okay? Because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass. And what's a wicked scheme to pass? That MOTB, right? That C-hip. That is a wicked scheme that is going to be fulfilled in our generation. And you need to be praying, and myself, we should be praying that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai doesn't give us a reprobate mind, right? To take that C-hip, to take that C-hip and during the hour of temptation. All right, Psalm 37 and verse 8. Cease from anger and forsake wrath, right? Because you're as a man, okay, you're at your lowest level when you're angry and when you're mad. All right, we have to stay in that hopeful and that positive, righteous mind state, because at the end of the day, yes, we have the victory. All right, don't get it twisted. We have that righteous anger, just how Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has, but nonetheless, constantly being mad, all right, and not realizing what you're a part of, and that we have the victory at the end of the day. That's the wrong spirit to be in. All right, that woe is me spirit. No, prophesy, have joy, because what? 2 Ezra chapter 6 and 9. Esau is the end of the world, right? World meaning cosmos, if you will. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And who's Jacob? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You tribes, man. Right? All right, Psalm chapter 37 and verse 8 again. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Do not fret, it only causes harm. That's exactly what anger does, man. Verse 9, for evildoers, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, right? Edomites, fucking heathens, Elam, Ham, anybody who's not in this truth, man. Watch this. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those who wait on the Lord Yahweh, right, the elect, they shall inherit the earth. Verse 10, for yet a little while, and the wicked shall be no more. All right? Indeed, you will look carefully for his place, but it shall be no more. All right, Yahweh Shemi Hashai is going to wipe you fucking Edomites off of this earth in due time. All right, pursuant to the book of Obadiah, which doesn't make sense on why that bugged out camp, Genesis, is trying to save Esau, Edom. Actually, it does make sense because they've been paid off. All right, we know it. I called Hassad out years ago and I said you were paid off. All right, fucking Sakari is paid off. They're bugged out. All right, you've been paid off by the government. It is what it is. That's the reason why, if you want the truth, you got to seek out the true prophets and the true worshipers, all right, over here at Great Millstone, beginning with the elders and apostles and the bishops on down. Okay? Psalm chapter 37 and verse 11. But the meek shall inherit the earth. All right, that is a famous verse in that Plantation Christianity church, in which they don't even know what the hell that means. The meek are the elect, man. The elect are going to inherit the earth. We're going to have rulership underneath our King Yahweh Shai and King David, right? We're going to be the ones to bring this world back into its natural order, all right, to clear away all wickedness. It's not talking about all you fucking Christians, because the law is not done away with, you dumbass niggas. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 11 from the top. But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. All right, this truth brings you peace of mind. All right, it brings you back to your true understanding. It brings you back to your nationality. All right, we're not going around calling ourselves or referring to ourselves as so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American. We are now identifying ourselves by our biblical tribes, right? That Yahweh Shemi Hashai has placed on us when we were born, off top. Even before we were born. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 12. The wicked plots against the just. All right, Esau, Edom is constantly plotting against how they can destroy the Israelites. All right, pursuant to the book of Psalms chapter 83. Okay, they want us to be at a low level. All right, so all you niggas out there celebrating ThanksK, all right, wickedness and etc. All right, that's the spirit that your daddy Esau wants you in. Good job, 2/3. Good job. Matter of fact, let me clap for you, 2/3. Good job. ThanksK. Yep, let's celebrate ThanksK. Yes, sir. Shout out my man up there, man. Nonetheless, hey, good job. Keep eating that fucking turkey, that pork chop, that pig. Good job. That's the spirit that your daddy Esau Edom wants you in, you dumbass niggas. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 12 again. The wicked plots against the just. Who's the wicked? ICE. Them troops. All right, them Gurkha troops. All right, the DHA. I can't even name it. All them governmental agencies. All right, there's so much shit going on. It's difficult to keep up. But that's the wicked. All right, King Devil Nero Trump and his administration are constantly plotting on how they can destroy you Jakes, which is why your daddy, Esau Edom, King Devil Nero Trump, was removing and is removing all the ancient artifacts of Jake, all right, and throughout this country, okay? You're not doing anything about it. You're constantly uplifting him. Every time I look up, this damn devil, King Devil Nero Trump, is signing some new executive order, all right? All he is doing is speeding up his wickedness, and you niggas don't care. It's just fucking bugged out. All right, the wicked plots against the just, and gnashes at him with his teeth. Who's his teeth? The military, ICE. All right, Homeland Security, and so forth. All right, any power structure of Esau Edom is referring to his teeth. All right, because that's how hard their bite is. All right, they're who knows what they're doing with you Jakes when they capture you and they bring you into those ICE trucks. And nonetheless, you don't have any salvation but Yahweh Shemi Hashai, but you still want to worship and call on this gay ass nigga right here, man. All right, this devil, that's who you want to call on. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, Jesus, come save me. Oh, Jeebus Christ. That's a fucking demonic spirit, man. You're worshiping a fucking devil. That's the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, continuing on. Where's I at? All right, there I am. Slack it. Psalm 37 and all right, where's I at? Psalm 37 and verse 12. The wicked plots against the just, right? Who's the wicked? The Edomites, right? And who are the just? Just the Israelites, but more specifically the elect, right? The wicked plots against the just and gnashes at him with his teeth. Verse 13, the Lord Yahweh laughs at him, for he sees that his day is coming. All right, that day is coming of you Edomites being wiped out via those nuclear missiles, all right, and going into slavery. All right. Salaki, is my phone moving? All right, that day is on the horizon, and it's coming rather quickly. Yahweh Shai is on the verge of wiping you Edomites out, and your own tongue is falling against yourself, right? Egyptian versus Egyptian, all right? The Epstein files and some more shit. I don't know why it's such a big deal that these Edomites are fucking weird in the head and bugged out in their mind. All you have to do is trace their history, man. They were the Romans and they were the Greeks prior to them still in the ancestry and the heritage of the Japhetic tribe, right? Who are the so-called Polynesians, Samoans, Hawaiians. Those are the real Greeks. But nonetheless, if you trace Esau, Edom's history, all type of gay ass and just most shit is a part of what they do. Just go look at their statues that they built up throughout the earth. All right, angels with baby rods, with baby penises. All right, so you people I don't know why you're so, I do know, because Yahweh Shai has you in that spirit of being wild out. But us in His truth and who constantly expose these devils, we know how sick and demented they are, right? Psalm chapter 37 and verse 13 again. The Lord Yahweh laughs at him, for he sees that his day is coming. Are you Edomites, you heathens, you're going into slavery. That day is coming. And we have faith that that day is coming, right? Verse 14. The wicked have drawn the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, to slay those who are of upright conduct. And that's what happened, all right, with the pilgrims when they came to fucking America and they landed on Plymouth Rock, right? They got introduced to the Gadites, aka you so-called Native Americans, right? And they gave you food, they gave you drink, and guess what? They plotted against you, they mass slaughtered you, they had their way with your women, and they gave you diseases. Man, you can't make this shit up. It's all in the Bible. And you're celebrating your own demise by celebrating ThanksKilling, all right? Continuing on. And have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, to slay those who are of upright conduct, right? Verse 15. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be Salakia, it was a B. And their bows shall be broken. Okay? Verse 16. A little that a righteous man has, all right, is better than the riches of many wicked. All right? So us coming out here prophesying against Babylon the Great and doing this work, this is way better than any type of wickedness that Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed cracker, has done throughout his lifetime, man. Starting with you elite bankers, right? You small hat Amalekite bankers, man. Continuing on. It's better than the riches of many wicked. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 17. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord Yahweh upholds the righteous. All right, Yahweh Shai Shai is going to keep the elect. Nothing can take us away from this truth if we're a part of Yahweh Shai's elect. Okay? Yahweh Shai is going to keep us, watch over us, feed us, nurture us, give us the right mind, and make sure that we have the right doctrine. And that's the complete opposite for you 2/3, you Edomites, you heathen nations. All right? Psalm chapter 37 and verse 18. The Lord Yahweh knows the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. Once again, the elect. And in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. All right, as we see famine constantly, or as we see famine constantly being talked about on the news, these people who are not in this truth, they are worried, they are thinking, they are overly thinking, right? They're being laid off from their jobs, and etc. They have no hope because they're calling on that Mo JC. We have hope, all right, that Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to save us, and he's going to deliver us, and that they are going to feed us, man. That's the type of faith we have to have, especially in these last days, okay? GMS is a faith-based faith-based camp, man. We have faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai. We don't trust you heathens, you niggas, man. Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to feed us during famine. Psalm 37 and verse where's I at? All right, Psalm chapter 37 and verse 19. They shall not be ashamed, okay, in the evil time. During Jacob's trouble. What does evil mean? Bad times. And Jacob's trouble is already here. It's not coming. It's already here. We're just in the beginning stages, all right? And we don't worry at all because we trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, we don't trust in man. We don't trust in the woman. We don't trust in the fucking devil. We don't trust in the white man. We trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, our power, man. And we also believe in the angels, man. Right? They shall not be ashamed in the evil time. And in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied, man. So if you're not putting in this work, if you're not doing anything for Yahweh Shemel Shai, you're going to suffer via famine and the plagues, right? Continuing on. They shall be satisfied. And nonetheless, that they is referring to the elect. Psalm 37 and verse 20. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord Yahweh, like the splendor of the meadows, shall vanish. All right? Nonetheless, what the wicked shall perish. Esau, Edom is going to perish, as well as you evil ass niggas, you 2/3 niggas, all right, who uplift Babylonian philosophies, all right, who commit sin constantly and who aren't repenting. All right, you're going to perish. All right? But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord Yahweh, you 2/3, right? Like the splendor of the meadows shall vanish, and to smoke they shall vanish away. Baba Kasha, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Baba Kasha. Please let Esau, Edom, and these heathen nations and these 2/3 vanish away. All right? Yes, it's righteous to put curses on our own people. All right? Our niggas who are trying to come against this doctrine. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai shalak rayam to all evil ass niggas. All right? Psalm chapter 37 and verse 21. The wicked borrows and does not repay. All right, usury, taxation, that's a form of borrowing, man. You don't repay. What's another form of borrowing? Okay, putting fucking Jake into slavery, right? Right here. Let's see what you did. Let's see what you did to the so-called Negroes, Esau, Edom. Okay, you put us in these slave ships, right? You had my ancestors lined up against each other like sardines, all right? You put us in the field for 24 hours a day, all right? Also known as field slaves. Didn't feed us, didn't give us water, all right? And as far as house slaves, you had your way with our women, all right? Constantly doing wickedness, okay? And then again, you haven't even repaid for this, all right? Every other day, it's a heated conversation on social media about if this devil has to pay reparations. Obviously, but these devils are so fucking wicked to the point where they think that what they did to our ancestors was for the greater good, in which it was. But nonetheless, you devils owe us, and you will go into slavery. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in the scriptures, man. So fuck reparations. True reparations is going to be having you red devils into slavery. That's what true reparations are going to be. All right? So we don't have to repay on this side, but you will pay on that next side, man. Psalm 37 and verse 21 again from the top. The wicked borrows and does not repay, but the righteous shows mercy and gives. All right? And how are we showing mercy? By being merciful, by coming out here, telling our people that they are the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, okay, that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is their power, all right, and that the Messiah came for them. Okay, that's a way of us being merciful, excuse me. And gives. And how are we giving? By making our body a living sacrifice. By coming out here preaching this truth, man. Not being in that plantation Christianity, bugged out fucking church. All right, that whorehouse. Okay? Psalm chapter 37 and verse 22. For those blessed by him shall inherit the earth, but those cursed by him shall be cut off. You Edomites are cursed. All right, you're going to be cut off. The sentiment stays the same. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushai changes not. All right, he's the same yesterday, the day before, and today, and so forth. Okay? And you're cursed, Esau, Edom, and you're going into slavery. It is what it is. Your kingdom is falling fast. And we can't thank Yahweh Shem Yahushai enough for plaguing and putting hell on our damn enemies, man. These red devils. Right? Psalm chapter 37 and verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord Yahweh. All right? And what's a good man? The hopeful elect. All right? The men who come out here and teach and who hit the highways and byways. Okay? Who fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? Who don't fear these men. All right? Who don't fear mortal men. Okay? Those are the ways of a good man. Beginning with our elders and apostles and bishops on down. All right? Those are the ways of a good man. All right? The hopeful elect. All right? The prophets. Those are the ways of a good man. The ways of a wicked man is Esau, Edom, and anything that this devil stands for. All right? Psalm chapter 37 and verse 23 again from the top. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord Yahweh, and he delights in his way. Verse 24. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down. Yes, we're going to catch hell in this truth. I'm catching hell right now. But that doesn't stop me from coming out here and uplifting Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And uplifting this truth, man. That's not going to stop me. I don't give a fuck if how fine the damn woman is that comes into my life. All right? Me coming and falling out of this truth, that means I was never even for this truth, bro. And you have a lot of jakes out there who fall out because of the women or the woman. All right? Pray that Yahweh Shem Yahushai doesn't make that you, man. I've seen hella brothers, and I'm sure the brothers in the truth as well, the brothers in Great Millstone, etc., have seen hella men fall out too because of the wicked woman. All right? Verse 24 again. Though he fall, right, he shall not be utterly cast down. For the Lord Yahweh upholds him with his hand. Who's Yahweh's hand? Yahweh Shai, okay? He delivers, our deliverer, the Messiah. That is Yahweh's hand. Psalm 37 and verse 25. I have been young and now am old. All right? More or less, I'm growing older in this truth. And ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay, he keeps you in this way if he wants you, and he removes you if he doesn't want you. All right, I woke up to this information, to this glorious gospel at the age of 22. All right, I didn't even really get to live out my 20s. I'm now 30. All right, but nonetheless, throughout my time of being in this truth, yes, I've caught a lot of hell. I've caught a lot of tribulation. But guess who was always there for me when nobody else was, man? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man, for real. This is what King David says. I have been young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken. Right? You brothers out there who are preaching this word in sincerity and truth, Yahweh Shai is not going to forsake you, man. Keep that faith, keep that wisdom, keep this knowledge, keep this understanding that Yahweh Shai is going to keep us until that very last day, until them chariots come to beam us up. All right? That's the type of spirit that we need to be in. Once again, that woe is me spirit needs to be rebuked. Any type of witchcraft spirit that you think is coming against you needs to be rebuked, man. I have been young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken. Who are the righteous? The elect, the hopeful elect. Okay? That's who the righteous is. All right? And Yahweh Shai didn't forsake the righteous in the Old Testament. He didn't forsake the righteous in the New Testament. Therefore, he's not going to forsake, all right, leave behind, all right, the righteous in this generation. Okay? Those of us who hit the highways and byways, who teach, all right, who preach, who uplift, all right, who set that standard. Okay? Yahweh Shai is not going to forsake us, and we have to keep that mindset. All right, I'm speaking to myself first, man. Nor his descendants begging bread. All right, so we're not going to have to beg for bread in these last days as Esau Edom brings that famine. All right, and as he takes away your food supply, okay? All that we have to do is keep the faith of Yahweh Shai, and he's going to feed us during famine. All right, you got some fucking Moabites up there trying to scoff and talk shit. That's why they're going into slavery. This truth isn't for you fucking Moabites, but that's another topic for another day. Salakia for the cussing, but it is what it is. All right. Nor his descendants begging bread. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 26. All right. He is ever merciful and lends, and his descendants are blessed. Let's go get the book of Deuteronomy chapter 15 verse 8. We'll come back. Bear with me, I'm finding it. Deuteronomy chapter 15. All right. Okay. This is according to the law. Deuteronomy chapter 15 and verse 8. But you shall open your hand wide to him and willingly lend him sufficient for his need, whatever he needs. Let's start at verse 7. If there is among you a poor man of your brethren, right, the Israelites, or own kinsmen, okay, within any of your gates in your land, which the Lord Yahweh, your power, is giving you, you shall not harden your heart, means your mind, nor shut your hand from your poor brother. All right, verse 8. But you shall open your hand wide to him and willingly lend him sufficient for his needs, whatever he needs. Okay, and who are the poor? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, and how are we feeding you in this generation? By teaching you this truth, man. Going back to the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 27. All right, here we are. Depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. How do you depart from evil? By putting away these wicked ass philosophies of America, also known as Babylon the Great. All right, by putting away ThanksKilling, by stop celebrating our own birthdays. Okay, by putting away wickedness. All right, by putting that pork down, by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, by repenting. All right, by praying. Okay, by fasting and by calling on those beautiful and righteous and holiest names, which are Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Right? That's how we put away evil. Here we are again, 27. Psalm 37 and verse 27. Wait on the Lord. Depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. Right? Continuing on. Verse 28. For the Lord Yahweh loves justice and does not forsake his saints. Who are the saints? The saints are Israelites, man. The saints are the elect, man. All right? Yahweh Shemiyah Shai is not going to forsake us. And it's your pod that I went into Psalm 37. I didn't even plan on going into this book, man. That's how you know the Rakah Kodash is a real thing. Lord willing, I do another lesson and the new in the NLT later on via my phone, man. Nonetheless, I love that verse. Verse 28. For the Lord Yahweh loves justice and does not forsake his saints. Call Halayim La Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And does not forsake his saints. They are preserved forever, but the descendants of the wicked shall be cut off. Right? And in this case, the wicked can be referred to as 2/3 of our own people. You're going to be cut off. We don't know when, we don't know how, but Yahweh Shemiyah Shai does. All right, they're going to destroy you. All right, judgment is happening at a fast rate. Every time I look up, it's another damn DEATH, man. All throughout the news, social media, etc. Man, you can't even go to these clubs anymore. Folks getting popped up, shot up at these clubs, and etc. All right? So judgment is on earth. And if that doesn't put fear in you, man, you're not in the right spirit. Right? All right, they are preserved forever, but the descendants of the wicked shall be cut off, right? You Edomites and you 2/3, man, shall be cut off. Verse 29, the righteous shall inherit the land and dwell in it forever. And that land is talking about Jerusalem. All right, when we get our land back, man. When Yahweh Shemiyah Shai wipes it out with fucking nukes, just exactly how he's going to do to America. Because as we know, Benjamin, Satan, not a Jew, and King Devil, Nero Trump 2.0, all right, they're in bed together. All right, antis, semantis, all this crap, man. All right, and then King Devil, Nero Trump had the nerve to say that plantation Christianity is coming back to America. Yeah, that's a fucking lie. Every time this devil speaks, man, he lies, all right? That's all Esau Edom is good for, is lying and giving you people false hope, all right? King Devil Nero Trump talking about $2,000 stimulus checks and some more. You damn people are easily deceived, which is why I'm grateful that Yahweh Shemiyah Shai gave me a sound mind, man, for real. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 30, we're almost done. The mouth of the righteous speaks wisdom. All right? The hopeful elect are the righteous, and we speak wisdom. All right? And his tongue talks of justice. And what's justice? You devils going into slavery. All right? That's the true meaning of justice. You heathen nations shutting the hell up. Right? You fucking nigga woman being put down. Since you're so prideful and you love your daddy E. That's justice. Right? Yahweh Shemiyah Shai destroy any people and bringing judgment to this earth. That's justice. Nukes coming to Babylon the Great. All right? That's justice. Right? A lot of Yahweh Shemiyah Shai for that son. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 30 again. The mouth of the righteous speaks wisdom, and his tongue talks of justice. That's a precept. That's in 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. All right, verse 31. The law of his power is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. All right, there's nothing that you people can do against the ones who Yahweh Shemiyah Shai chooses to make his elect, man. And to those who he sees as blessed, all right, to his righteous seed here on earth. All All right, besides scoff, talk shit, and etc. Okay, you can't do anything. You women can't do anything. You fucking Edomites can't do anything. You scientists can't do anything. Elon Musk can't do anything about this. Jeff Bozo can't do anything about this. Kill Gates of Hell can't do anything about this. King Devil Nero Trump can't do shit about this. Reverend Jesse Bugged Out can't do anything about this. Al Not Sharpton can't do shit about this, etc. The only ones who can do something about this is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And that's why we praise Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai until we die, and even right now while we still live. All right? None of his steps shall slide. Psalms chapter 37 and verse 32. All right? The wicked, Esau, Edom, all right, the Edomites, watches the righteous. We know that you elite bankers watch our lessons. All right, we know that you small hat gutter rats watch our lessons. We know that you damn bugged out Edomites watch our lessons. And we even know that you 2/3 watch our lessons. But guess what? You can't do shit about it because we're protected in that blood and in that covenant of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. And those names are dreadful amongst the heathen. All right? The wicked watches the righteous and seeks to slay him. You niggas, you 2/3 want to kill us, man. All right, they want to unalive us. All right, we know that. They did it in Salakia. They did it in the past time, and they want to do it in this time. But Yahweh Shemel Shai is not going to allow you 2/3 to do anything with his righteous seed, man. Straight up. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 33. The Lord Yahweh will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. All right, having that faith that Yahweh Shemel Shai will deliver us from anything and everything. Right? Psalm 37 and verse 34. Wait on the Lord Yahweh and keep his way, and he shall exalt you to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, you shall see it. And we're seeing that right now, but we're going to see it more and more in these last days. Verse 35. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreaded himself like a native green tree. Verse 36. Yet he passed away, and behold, he was no more. Indeed, I sought him, but he could not be found. Psalm 37 and verse 37. All right. Mark the blameless man and observe the upright, for the future of that man is peace. All right, we've marked the elders, man. We watch their ways. We constantly take notes. We read. We study the elders. We watch how they move. We watch how they move in their during their lessons and etc. Even in their daily lives. All right, what to eat, what not to do, and who to stay away from. Okay, because what does it say? The end of our elders is peace, man. What the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. All right. Psalms chapter 37 and verse 38. But the transgressors, all right. And what is transgressors? Well, who are the transgressors? All right. You lawless Israelites, all right? Because what is sin? Transgression of the law, also known as to be outside of the temple, okay? Anybody who's not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're a transgressor. Nowhere in the scriptures does it say celebrate ThanksKilling. That's you're in sin, all right? And may Yahweh Shemel Shai destroy and mark all of you niggas with DEATH. All right, who are celebrating this wicked ass day where you have the Israelites on all four corners of this earth preaching this gospel. There are no excuses, Jake. All right, you just want to be wicked like your damn devil, like your damn daddy E. All right, but the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The future of the wicked shall be cut off. Verse 39. But the salvation of the righteous, right, the elect, is from the Lord Yahweh. He is their strength in the time of trouble. The Wadi Yahweh Shai, please continue to be my strength. Our phone dying fast, dang. All right. Verse 40. And the Lord Yahweh shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. All right, we trust in Yahweh Shemi Shai, man. All right, we pray to Yahweh Shemi Shai. We know that Yahweh Shemi Shai is going to deliver us in these last days. Let me see if I can get one more verse before this phone dies. All right, where's I at? Let me see. We'll go to we'll go to the book of Micah, chapter 2, and verse 7. All right. And the remnant of Jacob, who's the remnant? The hopeful elect, man. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, as the dew from the Lord Yahweh, as the showers upon the grass that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of man. Verse 8. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the field. All right, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks. All right, among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. And in this case, it's talking about you natural Gentiles. All right, nobody's going to deliver you, man, off top. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots. All right, let's jump down to verse 15. And I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have never heard. All right, we are living in a very beautiful time of prophecy. All right, Yahweh Shemi Shai is going to destroy you Edomites. He's going to destroy you 2/3. He's going to destroy you people who are not following his ways. All right, before I begin this, I'm going to close out this lesson, and I pray that you were edified, but I'm going to close it out by saying, Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, Abad Babal, Abad Babal, Abad Babal, Shalom.